All right, we should be back now. I apologize for the short little interlude there. That was a oopsie daisy there. Not really entirely sure the cause of that, but we knew how to fix it, so we went and fixed it. So that should be good to go now. I apologize for that. So welcome back to the Tuesday night stream for Tapcast. I'm Tap here. We will be talking some fun and exciting flesh and blood news and things like that today. So. What are we talking about? Well, there's been some exciting changes to the website. We have our full card file of Everfest, so we'll be looking at that. We'll be going over some lovely, exciting, spoilers. I guess there's spoilers still right soon. What else are we doing? Well, there's some there's competitive shenanigans that is up there as well. That's pretty exciting. So we're looking forward to talking about that. As well, and I'm just trying to get this out of here. There we go. Now we're good. All right. So there's also some information on the Pro Tour. So Pro Tour is in New Jersey in May. We're actually seeing they have scheduled it's May 13th to the 15th. Is the actual, the first Pro Tour. So they said they were going to announce it soon. It is the end of January, beginning of February. I actually don't know when this was actually dropped. But that's pretty exciting. They haven't really made an effort to. They just said it was going to happen. It is finally here. All the info is on the website. I guess we can pop on over and take a peek at that. Let me jump on over here. All right. Let's just kick this guy and just go. Oop, that's not what I want to do. Take this guy and just go. Whoop. There we go. And then let's get our. Looks like we don't have that input here. There we go. All right, and we're going to extend that back because we're not looking at cards just yet. So Pro Tour is announced. Look at that. Pro Tour New Jersey. Jersey. Zoom in a little bit so you guys can see it. So yeah, the wait is over. We have our first Pro Tour. It looks exciting. There's a whole bunch of money on the line here. I think it's really, really quite cool. James White's coming if he can actually come. I guess that's true. We don't know about the travel restrictions there. There'll be some special guests, it says. So yeah, Friday to Sunday. We got Thursday sign in. Friday Pro Tour begins. Saturday calling begins. Sunday battle hardened. And all 3 days are non-stop public events. Open entry for everything except for the Pro Tour, which is nice. So if you didn't qualify, you can still go and play at a high level. Cash prize of the calling is 20 grand. We got Blitz-based Battle Hardened as a prize point of 2 grand for the event, as well as cold foils, PTIs, all that kind of stuff, sweet playmats, all that stuff. So there also is going to be some preview season startup of the set that releases in June. So we just got out of spoiler season. We're actually just about to finish spoiler season for the actual new one, new set, the Everfest set. And now we're going to get even more. So that's exciting. Back, and that's where we're going to have artists, all that kind of stuff. So just like your normal, like if you think about the magic things they used to have, like the Grand Prix, all that kind of stuff. This is the same sort of thing. There's going to be vendors. There's going to be leading industry vendors. I'm not really sure what that means, but giant cards, other unique items up for grabs, all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, Friday it all starts. Registration is coming soon. And I think this is actually something that's important. I don't think we've seen professional level rules enforcement. So it can be a bite in the butt sometimes. So people are going to have to make sure they're at their darndest, best, and goodest stuff in that regard. Oops. The camera's a little bit goofed right now. Let's just go like that. Just done goofed. There we go. All right, cool. Yeah, so down in Syracuse, New Jersey, never heard of that place. So eligibility, you probably already, if you know about the Pro Tour and you're eligible, you probably know that you are. So if you don't know, you probably aren't. And yeah, so it looks, I don't know when, so it says, it doesn't say, oh yeah, so here is the actual Pro Tour schedule. So that the whole thing is going to be going from Thursday check-in, Friday play, all the way to Sunday. 9 a.m. to quarterfinals, and then whenever it finishes is whenever it finishes. that's pretty exciting, actually. I'm actually really excited to see this kind of thing. I'm sure there's going to be a wonderful broadcast from that, so it'll probably be on Channel Fireball, which is really quite nice. That's always been a pretty heads up display there for that. And look at that whole bunch of wonderful prizes on the line there. Total of $100,000. Calling starts on the 14th on Saturday, so if you're looking to not have to have a qualification, you want to get some PTIs, all that kind of stuff, you can jump in and enter for the calling. Again, it's going to be announced soon. Nothing there. It's open. Again, professional levels and enforcement, so be careful about that. And then there's the Battle Hardened on Sunday. I think this is just for prize and stuff like that, right? So this is Blitz. It's competitive REL, so not professional. Yeah, so the prizes are... So random cold foil drop, Battle Hardened exclusive payment, PTI, and then cash prize and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool there. So lots of cool, exciting things going on in the near future. But what else are we here for? Well, we're here for some fun spoilers. So we want to make sure we finish wrapping up the spoiler season. So we did get our final set of cards. The full card set is now out. There weren't too many that weren't actually shown during the preview season, but there were some that snuck around and we just saw out of packs that people opened. So we're going to go over those today. So I think everything here we've actually seen. We've probably seen all the Majestics and the Legendaries. Likely everyone has seen those. So we don't really need to go over any of these ones. I think we've seen all these. A Bear Fangs, I think, might be our first one. It's probably most of the commons and the rares that we're actually going to be going over today. So Bear Fangs is our first one. This is a triple strip color one, as most commons are. The red one, this is a 2 cost, 1 pitch, 6 attack, brute attack action, no defense, which is not necessarily unheard of, but we see sometimes they do. And we have... So when you attack with Bear Fangs, draw a card and discard a random card. If a card with 6 or more powers discarded this way, Bear Fangs gains +2. So we've seen this sort of like the new brute thing is the discard is draw and discard. We saw that in Monarch. We continue to see it now. So it wasn't only a Shadow Brute thing. We do see it here now. And I think this, if again, with the whole like 6 power being the kind of breakpoint, obviously, with the 4 and 5 power and the other ones, they're not going to really see a whole lot of play. Yes, that these can bump up to 6 on that discard, but does that really matter? No, because you want them in your deck for the 6 power to discard. So, not going to see play. Maybe this 5/1 will. Going up to 8's not that bad. 2 cost is quite a big deal, but at the same time, you could go up to 8, which I guess is a pretty dang good rate. So, 2 for 8. Not too bad. So you might see some of that. We saw Wild Ride. Bad beats we did see. I think we just saw the red one, but it does get worse as you go down. So 4, 5, 6, you got 50-50 chance +5. You got 20% chance +5. And you got about 17% chance of +5. So not a bad beat there. Obviously, it's pretty risky. A 50-50 chance to get +5 is good, but it's also bad. The fact that it costs 0 is not that something to shake a stick at. We did see Awakening Bellow with a red one. No, sorry, Primeval Bellow. The yellow Primeval Bellow is a +5. Sorry, red Primeval Bellow is +5. You got to discard a card, not just play this. So that's where this is a little bit better, but there is that risk involved there. I guess. I mean, I don't know. Maybe this is the kind of deck you want to play if there is some rolling synergies. So like we have KO's specialization here for playing KO. Ready to roll. You can roll extra die. So that's pretty good here. You also have the Skull Crusher. So if you're not going to choose to run the Gambler's Gloves, you got Skull Crushers here. So when you roll a 5 or 6 on a die, your brute attack gains +1 this turn. Whenever you roll a 1 on a die, destroy it. So that's not going to really help all that much as far as those rolls, but it does give you some extra buffs. Is it worth the risk? It says your brute attacks gain +1, so it's not like the next attack. It's not any particular attack that you're rolling for. It's all the attacks. So in that regard, we are going to see some possibility of this actually adding 6. If we do a 5 or a 6, just don't want to roll that 1. All right, on to our next one. So we have our fantastical card file showing us our Fabled. So we have It is another gem and is a resource, guardian resource gem. It says the Grandeur of Valahai. And I do want to just point out that it does look very similar to this Earthlord bounty sort of situation here. We don't know exactly. Can't tell exactly. It does look pretty similar. It's a green gem with some gold stuff around some other things. The symbolism out here is harder to sort of like fully detect, so we don't really know. But that it could be it. But anyways, it is legendary. I mean, they have one in your Guardian decks. It says, whenever you pitch Grandeur of Valahai, create a Seismic Surge token. So 3 resources and a Seismic Surge token ain't too shabby. So essentially, it's like 3 on your turn, 1 on your next turn. Not too bad. The extra resources are definitely nice. This is very, very pretty gem. I think that Bravo will definitely, or sorry, I should say Guardian. Guardians will play this. The Seismic Surge is nice. And frankly, the blue pitch is really nice. And sometimes, yes, it's a little bit risky to block, or not to be able to block with things like that, but that's the risk you take. And is it worth the upside of the Seismic Surge token? Probably so. I mean, depending on how you're playing, if you're playing ultra aggressive or more conservative, you're definitely going to be wanting to have resources on demand in different capacities. Probably for playing more of a control, probably not going to matter all that much because you're really not building up to a turn, right? But if you're playing more an aggressive route or we want to get in for some damages, we'll definitely see some good, exciting play. And we saw Bravo shy of the show, so there he is, all his glory. One thing to note, there are unannounced, and maybe they're actually in the Collector Center. We haven't looked in the Collector Center, but there's, as of yet, unknown full art or extended art ones. We also have a Bravo Star of the Show with a very beautiful full art on the back. So just like we saw with the hero decks in Tales of Aria, we have, you got the Tales of Aria, you got the precons. You did get a Rainbow Foil Young Hero, right? That we probably have seen those before. They're nice and shiny and cool, but you also got in those decks a full art of the heroes as well. So that's so bad. I guess that light green is just looks so weird. The light green's not working out for her too much, but that is a full art Lexi. It's so bad. I can't show that off because the green matches the wall. That's so funny. Yeah. In any case, yeah. So they have the full art Bravo on the back of the actual Bravo show Star of the Show thing. So they have the front, which is all nice, foiled out and stuff like that. But then there is also that full art in the back, which is actually quite lovely. We don't know if that's a token. I mean, obviously that's going to be a rare token. If it's just a token, it's not going to be in every pack. Who knows exactly how that's going to go? Or maybe someone does. Maybe it's in the Collector Center. I don't know when they actually release that kind of stuff. I guess I can pull that over here and try to look while we. I don't want to flail around the site and not know where I'm going. So, but we can talk about the stuff moving on. So we did see a legendary have Bastion or Stalagmite and Bastion of Eisenloft. We talked about that in our spoilers. That's kind of exciting to see. Very pretty art now, as always. Moving down to these Majestics, I believe I didn't see Imposing Visage. So this is a 3-pitch, and this is our first card that we have seen an X and a number, and I would like to look at the server notes, or sorry, the release notes for this set. Is that 3X or X and 3? I don't know. I know there's XX, so most likely it's X plus 3. So I guess you would have to search your deck for an aura card with cost X or less, put it in the arena, then shuffle. So ultimately you're paying 3 to put it out there plus the cost of it. So, I guess it's not that terrible in that regard. It does have go again itself. You're placing this thing in an arena, so you don't have to worry about losing the action point. And I would bring up the Collector Center, but the FabTG website is just giving a server error. I wonder if they're inundated with people wanting to know about their Pro Tour, because I wonder if that just went up in a little bit. So maybe we were first to sort of talk about that. There we go. Now it's starting to fully come through here. So we'll see if the Collector Center will actually load. It might take a little while. So that's Imposing Visage. Blocks for 3, not too bad. I think it could definitely be a card that in certain Bravo builds would be kind of nice. We did see Nerves of Steel here. which was one of these ones that you can actually go grab. Gives your armor better stuff. So if you're really having a lot of resources to pack, you can go search up stuff and still have an action, which ain't too shabby. We have a rare that we didn't see. Thunder Quake. So this is the red one. It's a 1 pitch, 6 cost, 10 attack, 3 defense, a heave 3. So that heave mechanic we saw with our Pulverize, which is just fantastic, says at the beginning of your end phase, if Thunder Quake is in your hand and you have an empty arsenal slot, you may pay 3 and put Thunder Quake face up into the arsenal zone. If you do, create 3 Seismic Surge tokens. So this is the way to essentially have your installment plan on your your Guardian cards. These big, expensive bad boys are now, more affordable by paying over multiple turns. There is a downside. It's a face-up play, literally face-up play. Face-up in your arsenal. Yes, the 3 Seismic Surge tokens actually create, make the cost less, right? It's like you're paying 3 in one turn, you're paying 3 again. But if you are not able to hit it when those things go off, you're not getting that discount, right? This is not like an auto play. So if you don't keep some resources in your hand on the turn leading up to that turn, you're just going to pop those tokens and not be able to actually do anything or not play that. So it might be incentivize your opponents to really get after, trying to beat you up till you block out. And can't come in with a nice. I think he's just smashing skulls. I don't know. He's Quaking Thunder. That's what's going on. He's Quaking Thunder. Now if we move over to Macho Grande here, a dominate 10 power 3 defense 7 cost attack. Same power here, but this is potentially 3 and 3 versus a 7. Which one's better? I don't know. I mean, Macho Grande's got dominate. That's a lot of damage coming through. That's potentially going to be harder to block. So it's definitely is a pain to just sort of say, I'll just put some Thunder Quakes in there. I like this heave mechanic though. It's quite nice indeed. But yeah, we see yellow, we see blue, 9 and 8. All have heave 3. All right, moving on. It looks like the collection center does not actually have anything related to this set yet, which is not surprising. It's going to take a little bit of time to get those up here, so we can wait on that. So, Seismic Stir. I think this may have been seen. I don't really remember all that much. This is sort of so the red one creates 2 Seismic Surge tokens for a cost of 2 with Go Again. You're breaking even with the Seismic Surge yellow. The red one is probably the only one you're going to really want to play because it's the only one that's going to net you a little bit of resources. Steadfast, we have the red one is a 3 cost, 1 pitch Guardian instant. It says prevent the next 6 damage that we dealt to your hero this turn by a source of your choice. So you get to choose what you're blocking some damage from. It is an instant, so it doesn't block itself. It does cost a lot. The yellow and blue are 5 and 4 prevention as well. So it says be it sword or sorcery, we defend, we defeat, or we die. And that is Oldham, Grandfather of Eternity, saying that. So it's pretty exciting. All right, moving on to the next set of cards. We got Ninja. So I think we saw all these ones up here. Love that break tide, like literally the water's just whipping around and clipping people. That's really cool. So Rye the Tailwind. I don't think we actually saw. I haven't seen any of these at least come through too much. So these are just the ones that weren't on the actual creator spoilers. There were people opening packs. These are probably where those came from. So you have Rye the Tailwind. This is a triple strip card. This is the red one. So 0 cost, 1 pitch, 3 attack, 2 defense. It says when Rye the Tailwind hits the next attack card with 2 or less base power, you play this combat chain guns Go Again. So there's a way to get Go Again based on the power if certain things hit. It does work for 100 wins, yellow and blue, and the Winds of Eternity. You don't really need them except for on Winds of Eternity. You probably won't be doing much after that. So this is probably more likely to be helping up other combos. Maybe people trying to prevent other damage. Or you're sort of pressing your luck, saying, "Oh, cool! I'm gonna nip you for a little damage if it hits. Things are gonna get Go Again. You might want to watch out for that." So it's a nice way to sort of like mess with your opponent's flow in that regard. 3, 2, 1 as far as attacks go there. We have Twin Twisters. This is another attack. So the red one is a 1 pitch, 1 cost, 3 attack, 2 defense. It says choose 1. Twin Twisters gains. That's a tongue twister. Twin Twisters. Twin Twisters gains when this hits. Your next attack on this combat chain gains +1 damage. Or Twin Twister gets +1. So you either get to add 1 to your next attack, or this one buffs it up to 4 in this particular case. I think that's pretty cool. Modal cards are generally really quite nice. I wouldn't say that this is expensive per se for the effect. I mean, yes, you're getting that modal ability, and that can sometimes make things more expensive, but ultimately it's not that bad. Additionally, the buff, you can buff it itself. The real downside here is I think because it's not 0 cost, that does make it a little bit more difficult to play, because if you're going to be playing Kodachis with a lot of people, we can play Kodachis with Wizard Ninja, because those are dang good weapons. In that regard, it's not 0 cost, so it won't give your Kodachis go again. So is it really worth it? I think it depends on the kind of deck you're going to be playing. Then we see our last comment here for, this is actually a Ninja defense reaction. So we saw Flick Flack, now we have Wax On. So this is a 1 pitch, 0 cost Ninja defense reaction. Defense for 3, it says, well, Wax On is defended by an action card with cost 0. Is defending with an action card with cost 0. It has +2. So can be a +5 instead of looking at the other cards in the combat chain of yours with combo, like you saw with a Flickety Flack, is the common one that is looks at the attack cost that it is blocking, which is kind of neat. So generally, this is not really all that helpful, right? Because if you're playing against, or if you're defending against 0 cost attacks, you're probably not going to need 5. I mean, yeah, you get your random Light and Strike and things like that, but for the most part, the lower the cost, the more power you're coming in for, and then the lower the cost, the less power. So ultimately, cool. Blocking for 5 is great on a 0 cost card. Maybe this is where you actually go ahead and play. Well, no, I guess it really depends on your opponents. So maybe it's just best to go the red. I don't know. I think Flick Flack's still better unless you're playing like 0 combo cards. But all right, here is Warrior. We saw everything here. We didn't see Shatter. At least I didn't see Shatter. This is a Warrior attack reaction. It is a yellow pitch, 0 cost, 3 defense. It says until end of turn, target 2-handed weapon gains whenever this would deal combat damage. Or sorry, oh man, I'm going into my magic roots here. Whenever this would deal damage. Instead, you may destroy a defending equipment with with defense less than the damage that would be dealt this way. So this is interesting because this is like it can ping away some damage. I actually kind of like this. So this basically says, cool, if this is actually going to hit you, I can destroy some of your armor, even if you didn't use it to block, even you actually already blocked some of the damage coming through, whatever is coming through. Like if you got a Findel Spring Tunic, or your opponent's got a Findel Spring Tunic out, this is going to swing it. Even if it hits for 1, you can choose to go pop it. Keep in mind, this is an attack reaction. They have the chance to respond to this with defense reactions, what have you. So there is a way for them to get around it if you choose to do no damage. But at the same time, you're essentially you're forcing a card out of their hand rather than a piece of their equipment. Obviously, the Tunic is probably going to be better, especially early game. But that's actually something I like about this card, is that it can really help. It can really damage stuff early or late game. So you can literally go bang and destroy something way up front when people are like, cool, I'm going to take some more damage, right? I don't mind taking stuff early, right? I'm going to save my armor for the end. I want to maybe, I'm not playing a heavy blocking deck anyway. So that's really kind of where this card shines, is actually early game. Even better is if you can manage to be swing with your Dawnblade and hit multiple times. This does work off of the first one. It's the rest of the turn. So that's quite powerful as well. Yeah. I think that's really cool. I think that the art is also super, super cool. It's like this goofy looking axe, which is rather funny because we haven't seen any 2-handed axes yet, just destroying a shield. So that's actually pretty cool. All right, we've seen these other Majestics. Blade Runner as a common. I haven't seen Blade Runner officially yet. So we have the red one. It's a 1 cost, 1 pitch, 3 defense, warrior attack reaction. It says target 1-handed weapon attack gains go again. Your next weapon attack this turn gains +3. So a nice thing. We did sort of. I thought we saw something like that. Is that? Maybe I did see this because I thought I remember seeing something that is particularly like that. But anyways, so the yellow and the blue strips are +2 and +1, so just buffing it up a little bit. Pretty nice that, I guess this is sort of like if you're playing Bolton, you don't need to actually activate the Bolton reaction. You don't have to banish something from your soul to have it get buffed. Because not only does this actually buff it, it also gives it go again. So there's really you don't even need to worry about that. It can give go again to some other saber if you're playing sabers or axes in other cases. But the problem is that you still have to have a way to attack multiple times with the weapons. If you're just going straight weapons, things like that. If you're not going straight weapons, obviously you have your ability to do what you need. I love the the Blade Runner sort of reference, and it does look a little bit weirdly futuristic. He looks like he's almost got some mech stuff. It doesn't look like a warrior attack reaction, to be completely honest. Really, it looks more like a mech or a mechanized warrior. So that's kind of interesting. We saw in the swing Outland Skirmish. I feel like I saw this, but it's not. It wasn't spoiled by anyone in particular. So Outland Skirmish. It's a red pitch, 0 cost, 3 defense. Warrior action says your next one-handed weapon attack this turn gains +3. Next time a weapon attack this turn hits, create a copper. Go again. So more ways to actually get some sweet monies here with the copper. So we saw other things back in Crucible of War that was copper generating, and this one also does that as well. This is a nice buff too. The other one just was it Spoils of War? I can't remember what it did. I know it does some sort of thing, but I think it was less. It was more powerful in the sense of it bonused other things as well. But this is a nice sort of serviceable 0 cost action to play up front. You buff your thing up. You can get go again if you're playing Bolton, that sort of thing. So, and the copper's nice. So, probably not going to be playing much of blues of that. All right, Mechanologist. So, I think we saw the Dissolution Sphere. We saw Microprocessor. We saw Single Jammer. I did not see the Teklo Pounder yet. So, this is another item. So, this is blue pitch, 2 costs, Mechanologist action item. Teklo Pounder enters the arena with three stream counters on it. When Teklo Pounder has no steam counters on it, destroy it, just like always see with that. It says, once per turn effect, whenever you boost an attack action card, remove a steam counter from Teklo Pounder. If you do, the attack gains +2. And it does say whenever remove, so you cannot choose. It's just going to add damage to the boosted cards once per turn. I think this is actually a pretty viable card to play. I think it's sort of counterintuitive, right? It's it's sort of a pivot card, right? You could have a sort of mid-range focused dash that's not necessarily about pistols and things like that, or you could have mid-range that's sort of maybe early game is pistols and setting up items, and then late game you just like turn the corner and just start beating in with a pounder and stuff like that. I think that's actually quite exciting, quite cool. To be able to get those into play. So you maybe fire your gun up a couple times, throw out some items. You could be, getting rid of the arcane damage coming out with a Dissolution Sphere. You could be signal jamming to slow people up in the early game. Or in the late game, again, you're not going to be playing a lot of things once you start boosting and going crazy. So that really depends upon if you can manipulate your deck enough to have the non-attacks and the attacks when you need to. So that is Teklo Pounder. Pretty cool. We saw T-Bone from the guys over at the Attack Action Podcast. So T-Bone were their things, their spoiler cards, which is pretty cool. Payload, our first comment. This is a red, that's triple pitch here, so it looks like the damage goes down by 1 each time. It says red pitch, 2 cost, 6 attack, 3 defense, Mechanologist action item. It says if you have boosted this combat chain, Payload gains Dominate. Does not have boost itself, so this is a turn cap in that regard. So if it's just your straight up attack, you don't have that many 6 power attacks in Mechanologist, so this is not too bad. But at the same time, boost heavy decks are not really wanting to play 2 cost attacks. So in that regard, this is probably not going to see a whole lot of play unless you really use this as a very small amount of spice in there, just to get in there with, say, something, and then you can just start pounding away. So that's something that's nice because game Dominate. We haven't seen that all that much. We saw a couple cards that either give the next thing Dominate, or if you boost it or something like that, it can gain Dominate. So it's nice to see a card its own self giving itself Dominate if there's been a previous thing like that. So, all right, got another attack. So again, triple pitch here. Attacks go down by 1 each time. This is Zoom In. This is a red pitch, 2 cost, 5 attack, 3 defense, Mechanologist action. Attack. It says whenever you attack with Zoom In, opt X, where X is the number of times you have boosted this combat chain, and it does have itself a boost. And remember, boosting is revealing the top card if it is revealing and banishing the top card if it is a Mechanologist card, you get Go Again. So, this is quite cool. I love the art. It's like this weird video game, like sort of heads-up display kind of thing, right? And you're aiming with your pistols and stuff like that. So, I think that's pretty cool. This can be a nice way to... so actually, let me see here. So when you attack with this, blah, 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 boost his initial cost to play. So yeah, obviously you're going to be boosting before you opt, right? So you can't have it both ways there. So you're going to lose the card on top, and then you get to opt. But that's nice. You can set up your next turn. If this is like sort of like one of the middle cards, you can set up your further boost if you're going to be boosting further. I think what we saw with the microprocessor and stuff like that for Datadol is that maybe Datadol is going to be transitioning into this more of a boost and item based thing. So obviously it's very heavily item focused, right? But then you can slide in a lot of boost cards as well, because you're able to opt and see and then make sure that you're boosting away items to have them enter the arena with her ability as well. So in that regard, I think this is actually a lot of support for Datadol as well as the microprocessor and stuff like that. So we did see rotary RAM as well. So I think that was all of the Mechanologist cards. All right, the merchant. So we did see. I'm actually kind of upset about this. So I think I know the reason why here. So we saw the Genis what you need. That's what we saw him. Genis what you need. Is like Genis what you need. So I think that's kind of, he's got everything you need, right? So he's a merchant young hero. He's 20 health, 4 intellect. Once per turn action, pay 2. Each other hero may put a card from their hand in the bottom of their deck. If they do, they draw a card, and you create a silver token. If you gain no silver this way, draw a card. So either way, you're either drawing a card. Sorry, either way, you're getting silver. You're either getting 1 silver. Sorry, you're either getting a card or one card or multiple silvers. So it's a pretty cool card. I think it's rather interesting, because if people like their hands, you're going to get to draw cards. If they don't like their hands, you'll be getting silver, and that's something that's not bad. Then we have Silver Palms. It's another legendary. It's a merchant equipment arms. It blocks for 2 with blade break, so it goes kablooey if it blocks. At the start of each other hero's turn, if they have less health than you, you may draw a card. If you do, sorry, they may draw a card. If they do, you create a silver token. So if they have less life, they get to draw a card if they want, and you get money for it. So basically, cool, draw your cards and pay me for it. And I'm going to do that by having more health than you. So it incentivizes them to not attack you all that much. What's going on, Mr. Andrew? Thanks for joining in. We're just going over the latest, the rest of the spoilers for Everfest, as the card file is finally fully released here. We're just going over Silver Palms here, the card Silver Palms and Genis what you need. Going over these final merchant things. So I get it, because if we're going towards this PvE format coming in again, I think it's quarter 2. This mystery item in quarter 2. If that's what's coming, they want to build up the PvE sort of hero base, right? So there's not all just people whacking in with their favorite heroes, whatever. You want to have some other heroes that are actually going to be doing some other things than attacking or zapping or anything like that. So this is a way to sort of benefit the whole team. And there's not really any downside, right? There's no downside if you're PvE of you drawing a card and them drawing a card and you getting a silver token. So you're sort of incentivized to keep your health high and let them sort of fall down. So maybe this is the kind of guy who's going to be playing potions of healing and things like that, so he can keep his health high and do that sort of thing. So, and this does trigger each turn for each hero, which is kind of cool as well. So yeah, I'm upset that they spent a legendary on a blitz format hero only, and the fact that it's something that isn't really supported all that well is also a little bit frustrating. We'd rather have seen some legendaries elsewhere, but at the same time, it's hard to give legendaries to any particular class more than others. It does make sense that we saw a legendary shield for Guardian here, because it was an Arya based set, but at the same time, it just as easy couldn't have been a generic. Moving on to, oh man, that's a brutal card. So here I think we saw these guys. I didn't see Razor Rain here. So we have a yellow pitch, 0 cost, ranger instant. Says arrows have +2 while attacking this turn. Interestingly enough, you can actually put this on your opponent's turn if they are playing ranger as well, and you want them to deal more damage. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but to know you can is important. So I just want to talk about the art here. So it's brutal because we see these animals getting torn apart, but like this monster lion with horns and stuff, I can't remember what that thing's called. It's got an arrow through its cheek and into its mouth, which is just horrendous here. Yikes. And that poor bear in the background is getting all torn up, so. That's a lot of power. It doesn't block for anything. It's a little bit risky in that regard, so maybe you don't want to be going so heavy into the no blocksies of Ranger already, because you're looking to, I think, not a Ranger person, but generally you're looking to be able to block later in the game. You know, obviously you're not going to be heavily blocking early. I don't know. All arrows getting +2 is pretty good, and there's a lot of on-hit effects in Ranger, so that's pretty cool there. Release the tension. We saw increased attention in Arcane Rising. This looks like the opposite of that. And this, again, looks very Mechanologist, right? We got all these gears and stuff. We got this thing that's kind of smoking, this stuff like that. So pretty interesting there. Looks like that could be like something like this, right? This big old arrow looking all beefy, getting fired off. And you release the tension. This is a red pitch, 0 cost Ranger action. Blocks for 2. Your next arrow attack this turn gains +3, and defense reactions can't be played from the arsenal this chain link. So we did see that. It's like sort of a Dreadbore thing. It says arrows can't you control have defense reactions can't be played from hand this chain link. This says all. So the defense reactions can't be played from arsenal this chain link. So there is boom, you lock out. Cool. If I'm playing the Dreadbore and I release the tension, no. So now you have your CNC of not being able to have people play defense reactions, which is quite powerful. So does this buff make a whole lot of sense in a Dreadbore deck? Maybe so, right? Maybe so. I think it'd be cool to have that. It's kind of expensive that it's not an on-hit effect, but at the same time, it's like almost guaranteeing that you're going to be hitting, because it's like, cool, no defense reactions, so all you got is armor and cards from your hand. So that itself is actually quite powerful. So I think that could do some damage. That tension could be released to do some damage. All right, moving on to Fatigue Shot. We have a Ranger action arrow attack. It is a red pitch, 1 cost, 5 attack, 3 defense. The other ones are just 1 different point of damage. It says, when Fatigue Shot hits a hero, the base power of the first attack action card they play during their next turn is halved, rounded up. An example is an attack with 5 base becomes 3. So it is rounded down to 2.5 and then rounded up to 3. Okay, so that's pretty neat. It's sort of like your, oh goodness, I can't remember, your debilitate. I don't remember which one of those Guardian cards actually does the dropping of damage there. But that's nice. I don't know if that's the kind of shots you want in your deck, but it's important to know that this does hamper other heroes more than others, or some heroes more than others. Like if you're playing Guardian, you have your Pulverize coming in for 14 or whatever it is. You're gonna round that down. That's a heck of a lot more damage lost. Like if it's 14, let's go with 7, right? Or if it's 13, I don't know. Either way, it's going to be 7. You block out 7 damage. That's a pretty good, nice way to hit someone for a couple points of damage, just to have a little bit of a block there. Like you can release tension and Fatigue Shot them. They can't do his defense reactions, so they're gonna only need to have Dominate, right, to not be able to block with more than 1 card in hand. But those on-hit effects affect other ones more so than others. So obviously, Bravo Guardian hurt more than your Ninja, right? So long-winded way to say something I didn't really need to say. We saw Timidity Point. It says when Timidity Point hits a hero, attacks they control lose and can't gain Dominate their next turn. Otherwise, it's just an okay thing. I don't know what that animal is. Pretty weird. Weird feet. All right, we have this last, the Ranger action here. So read the Glide Path. This is a red pitch 0 cost Ranger action defense for 2. It says your next arrow attack this turn gains +3. Opt 1, go again. That's pretty good buff, right? The Opt 1's nice too. You can, if you're playing things that let you draw cards, or Skullbone Cross Wrap, things like that. Azalea. I guess it's how much is an opt worth versus how much is 3 damage worth. There's better buffs out there. So do you really want to only put 3 on there for an opt on top of that? don't really know. That's kind of up to Ranger people that I don't know about Rangers. On to Runeblade. We have one exciting card here that we have not seen. We have a Runic Reclamation. I have not seen this yet. This is a Majestics, one of those Majestics that maybe slipped through. Didn't actually get a person to spoil it itself. Looking pretty cool. Love the art. It's just like sucking out this magical essence out of these people. And yeah, it looks really cool. We got some big monsters in the background there. So I think this is really cool art. So red pitch, 3 cost, 7 attack, 3 defense. So a nice honking card for a Runeblade here. It says when Runic Replication hits a hero, destroy target aura they control. If you do, create a Rune Chant token. So definitely an interesting effect. Really going for the on hit to destroy auras. One Rune Chant, not going to matter all that much, even when you have something like Mordred tied out, 2 Rune Chants to destroy something. That's not really where you're more at the I'm gonna destroy something, and then I get it at a bonus. It's just gravy, as they say, on top of that. So 3 costs for 7 isn't actually that bad. We do see some Guardian cards that are that cost and less. So I think that means something here. This is a very powerful attack for Runeblade, and I'm very excited about it. So that is very cool. Also love that Swarming Gloomveil. Oh, gotta see that hero in the future. That is a badass looking hero. So hopefully we see that in that ridiculous blade she has. So all right, Runeblade Invocation. Here's another example. I don't know if you guys have watched a lot of those pack openings. This does have a extended art as well. This is just a rare, so it seems as though there are a lot of things that are going to be fun art in that regard. So this is a Runeblade action. Defends for 2 each of these. They're both all color strips. The red one is a red pitch, 1 cost. Go again. Runeblood Incantation enters the arena with 3 verse counters on it. At the beginning of your action phase, remove a counter from Runeblood Incantation. If you do, create a Rune Chant token. Otherwise, destroy Runeblood Incantation. So it's a way to, over time, build up some Rune Chants. So if you don't have your Mordred Tides, or you want to get more bang for your buck, you have multiple Mordred Tides, whatever, you can be making extra counters. On a way for it in play already. So this is a way to sort of have your installment plan happen of creating Rune Chants, right? So if you come into the battlefield with 3 verse counters, that first turn, it doesn't do anything, right? And then the first turn it does something, you remove something, and then that third turn, because you can't remove one, it does say if you do create a Rune Chant token, otherwise destroy it. So if you can't remove it, it gets destroyed. You don't get it on that last turn. It's not just like triggering on those turns until it is gone. So that's a little bit too bad. But late night, the office. I use Genis for buying supplies. I don't know what that is. I'm not sure what you mean by that. But I'm sorry that I know you're having a lot of trouble at work there, trying to make things work being the new boss man. So best of luck with that. But Drowning Dire I had not seen as well. This is an attack. So this is a red pitch, 2 cost, 5 attack, Runeblade attack action, defense for 3. If you've played or created an aura this turn, Drowning Dire gains Dominate, which is actually quite nice. And again, Rune Chants are auras. So playing out Nora, which gives us, all right, cool, we can have some auras for this. And we do see that we have Incantation. We see a bunch of different ones in the past. So Runeblade Incantation is one of those as well. So when Drowning Dire hits, you may put a non-attack action card from graveyard on the bottom of your deck. So a way to, we did see, what was it? That Monarch card, it was Ravewind's spoiler video. Now I can't remember. Something about dark stuff. But it did allow you to do that kind of thing. So that's actually quite nice. We can get things back, non-attacks back from the graveyard to the bottom of the deck. So that's pretty cool. And the rate's not too bad. 2 for 5 ain't too shabby. As you go down to the 2 for 4 and 2 for 3, not really all that worth it, because even though it has or can have Dominate, getting extra power on that is what matters. So your best bet's probably Drowning Dire or red here. Reek of Corruption. This is another attack. So this is a red pitch, 2 cost, 4 attack, 3 defense. It says if you've played or created an aura this turn, Reek of Corruption gains when this hero hits a hero, they discard a card. That's actually quite powerful, right? Especially the 4-1, because it is at that special breakpoint of all you got to have done is create a Rune Chant or something like that. And this will force them to block in a better way, because they're going to discard a card anyways, right? They're going to block one card just to block the damage. Maybe now they got to use a second card to block it out fully, because otherwise they have to discard a card. I mean, I guess unless you're looking to just block out with armor. Definitely want to see that 4/1 though. That's the one that matters. The blue and the yellow might not see a whole lot of play just because it's not going to matter. All right, we have our last Runeblade card. This is Shrill of Skullform. This is a red pitch, 2 cost, 4 attack, 3 defense. It says if you played or created an aura this turn, Shrill of Skullform gains +3. So a 2 for 7. That's pretty good. I believe that's what we saw on the Rune Reclamation. There was actually a less costly on this one. This is a 3 cost one. That's quite nice. I mean, it's not hard to have played an aura or created some rune chants. I mean, this is a nice way to sort of like cap off your turn, right? If you play a couple things, it's a cheap way to, for 2 cost, swap in for 7 damage. So pretty good there. I mean, even the blue one, 5 damage for 2 isn't that bad. We saw that with Rika Corruption was even worse than that. It was 4 for 2. This one, 5 for 2. So now we're on that same sort of page there. So I kind of like this card. I think it'll definitely help put some beats on those maybe more aggressive decks that aren't looking to go OTK or big rune chants, or just like sort of like boom, slapping in for some bits of damage here, creating some rune chants, slapping the base, you know, that kind of mean. What I mean by that, just like getting in for some extra damage there. So, all right, Wizard. So we saw sort of most of the exciting things. I can't remember if Sigil of Parapets actually got spoiled proper, so we'll just talk about that quick here. Just a 3 pitch, a 1 cost, a Wizard defense reaction. That defense for 2. It says, well, Sigil of Parapets is defending. Whenever you play a Wizard card, Sigil of Parapets gains +2. So you can go off on your turn. If they're coming with a big attack, you know it's the last sort of attack that might be coming in. You can actually block out a fair bit of damage by playing this out. It does cost 1. That's not nothing. That does cost you quite a bit, actually. And it buffs the block. So it's if you're going to be playing a couple things on your opponent's turn while this is out and blocking, you can get some extra defense. So it's a really quite nice way to actually to tweak Wizard towards what you actually want to do, right? Which is play stuff and not die, right? So you can play stuff at instant speed. Icelander is a little bit harder to do a lot of things there, because a lot of things that she does doesn't actually happen on instant speed. Whereas this is great in Kano because you can go ahead and actually play this card, right? Because you get a buff from it. It's essentially like you get paid in cards to deal damage on their turn, which is actually quite cool. So is this what Wizard or Kano needs to be number 1? I don't think so. Oh, I see what you mean here. I get it now. I just looked at quickly Genis for buying supplies. You mean Genis what you need? I get it. That was funny. I'm sorry. That was really bad though. All right. Okay, cool. So that is Sigil of Parapets. We saw Scour. This is Emeritus Scolding. So this is 3 color ships. Red pitch, 2 cost. Wizard action, defense for 3. It says deal 4 arcane damage to a hero. If Emeritus Scolding is played during an opponent's turn, instead deals 6 arcane damage to them. And the art's really brutal. This guy's literally torching the face off of someone. It's kind of like more ancient looking art, like that you would see a long time ago. But I think it's really cool. Which reminds me of like fantasy book art from like the 90s. Which I think is really, really cool, like nostalgic in that regard. But yeah, so this guy's just torching that thing's face off. It looks like a monster or something like that. We just like straight up, cool, there goes your brain. But yeah, so 4 damage, 6 instead if you've played during your opponent's turn. Not too bad, right? You can do some extra damage there for 2. What is Voltic Bolt Red? Is that 6? That's not too bad. I want to say it's 5, but I don't remember now. I think it's really cool. The blue one, probably not all that much excitement there. You're only doing 4 damage at the max, so 2 for 4 ain't too great. But I do like the red one. That's pretty good as well. All right, we have Prize. This is a wizard action that says red pitch, 0 cost. Target hero reveals 3 cards from their hand. If Prize played during your opponent's turn, instead they reveal all their cards in their hand, so you can play at any time in their hand on their turn. If you may choose a card revealed this way. If you do, the hero puts it in the bottom of the deck and they draw a card. So it's a way to basically not reverse brainstorm, but it messes with their hand. So it's like, cool, I'd rather have you not have that card. Like if like you're about to swing in with like this massive Bravo hit, or you have a bunch of blue pitch cards in your hand, and you need them for something that you could try to chance it and say, cool, we're gonna send that blue to the bottom or something like that. Be pretty exciting in that regard. All right, we have Pyroglyphic Protection. This is a 2 cost 1 pitch wizard action aura. Defense for 2. If your hero would be dealt arcane damage, prevent 3 arcane damage that source would deal at the beginning of your action phase. Destroy Pyroglyphic Protection. So it is essentially a onboard defense to arcane. This is really quite nice for a lot of against Runeblade, and I guess against a lot of Wizard heroes as well, because how much damage are they really going to be dealing on average? Preventing 3 of that is actually quite good. You can slap this bad boy down on your turn, and then before they get to go off, I mean, Runeblade, it shuts down all the rune chants. Any of the 2 arcane damage cards, so Rosetta's Thorn, all that kind of stuff, that gets shut down as well. So it's actually quite powerful effect there for the red one. Even the the yellow one's pretty good. And even the blue one's good against Runeblades and stuff like that. So that's not too shabby. Last one we end. This is some psychedelic stuff. It reminds me a little bit of Salvador Dali with his floppy clocks, this art style, sort of deserty looking thing. Anyway, so red pitch, 3 cost, defense for 3, wizard action says deal 5 arcane damage to a hero. If Timekeeper's Whim is played during your opponent's turn, put it on the bottom of your deck. Way to recycle some not too shabby. 3 for 5 ain't great, right? But it's not nothing, and being able to recycle it for later can be quite nice. So that's pretty cool. So that's that one. All right, maybe not last. We have Illusionist. So we saw these big ones. I don't know if we saw Shimmers of Silver. This is a blue pitch 0 cost Illusionist action or a defense for 2. It says once per turn effect, when you attack with an Illusionist or a weapon, put a 1/1 counter on it Spectra. So this can actually be attacked. I think that's pretty amazing. I mean, the fact that it's only 1 per turn effect makes it totally tame, because if that was just like, cool, whenever you attack, then, Prism, Spectral Shield shenanigans would be off the chain, as they say. I like it. It costs nothing. It's not an instant, which is fine, because you're going to be probably wanting to have it on your turn. The fact that you can't get go again, so this has to go in at the end of turn or something like that, or have multiple action points, is a little bit painful, because it makes it much less useful, because you might not even get that initial activation of a +1 counter. So because people might just want to blow it up. Maybe this is where we see the Crown of Replication being able to get stuff into play in that regard. Who actually knows there? Haze Bending. There's only a single color here. So Haze Bending is a blue pitch, 0 cost Illusionist action aura, defense for 2. It says once per turn effect, when Haze Bending or another Illusionist non-token aura you control is destroyed, create a Spectral Shield token. Also has Spectra. So it once per turn you can make a Spectral Shield if something gets popped. You can do that with yourself in various ways. So that's kind of nice there. Passing Mirage. These are just like beautiful cards. It looks like these 3 have been done by the same guy. The Assad Irfan. Like these are some great things. I think he may have done the Potion of Deja Vu as well, and I love this. I really do love this art style. It's fantastic. The color schemes and lines, and very cool. So Passing Mirage, 3 cost 0. Sorry, 3 pitch 0 cost, defense for 2, Illusionist action aura. It says your Illusionist attack each turn loses and can't gain Phantasm. So definitely makes your big boy and big girl and big 9-binary attacks very large. Spectra as well, so it does have the ability to just get switched off. And again, there's no again. We haven't seen go again on any of these cards, and that's kind of the problem. We don't see that in our next aura as well. Pierce Reality. Again, blue pitch, 0 cost, defense for 2. The first Illusionist attack action card you play each turn gains +2. This, I kind of am really excited about this, right? You play all these auras out. People can blow them up, but only once per turn, essentially, right? Because it does go boom, and it doesn't give go again or anything like that. So they have to have multiple action points to do anything. But I kind of really enjoy this, right? You get to have extra power. When they blow up, you get something back. You get to lose Phantasm, and you get buffed. I do like it. I think it's very powerful, and it's very exciting. And I think Illusionist is going to be pretty fun. I mean, I'm not a huge Prism person, although I think I could be. I think I could enjoy playing those cards. I do think this is actually quite powerful set of stuff. I don't know if it's gonna be worth it, right? Because you might just be way too slow, and the no go again is painful. But you don't know. All right, next we have an attack here. It's a 2 cost, 7 power, 3 defense, red pitch card. So it's Coalesce Mirage. We have all the color strips that go down a power each. It says Phantasm, so 6 or more will go poof. When Coalesce Mirage is destroyed, you may put an Illusionist Aura card with cost 0 from your hand onto the arena. So this is where you're going to get your Passing Mirage, Pierce Reality, Haze Bending, Shimmer of Silver, all up on the business board there. So it motivates you to be okay with attacking with something that's got Phantasm. If it pops, you can still get some value there. Phantasmal Haze, another attack here. So 3 cost, 1 pitch, 8 power, 3 defense attack with Phantasm. It says when it's destroyed, create a Spectral Shield. So you're getting upside on things popping. So we saw before there wasn't anything. It was just like, cool, a little less cost, but you just lose your attack and nothing happens. Again, color strips there are going down by 1. We have our last one, which is Veiled Intentions. This is a red pitch, 1 cost, Illusionist action, defense for 2. It says the next action card you play this turn is Illusionist in addition to its other types. Gains +4, Phantasm, and when it's destroyed, draw a card. So that's nice. It does replace the card you're attacking with. This has Go Again as well. Unfortunately, it doesn't give you Go Again on that particular thing. It's like, cool, you died. And here's a card back, which isn't too bad. All right, now we're on to our generics. We've seen, I think, the majority of these ones. Cash Out, additional cost to play Cash Out. You may destroy any number of weapons, equipment, and or non-token items you control. Create a silver token for each one to destroy this way. Go again. Defense for 2 generic action, pitch for 3 cost 0. So you can basically turn in your old armor that didn't do anything into some hot new silver to go buy yourself some fantastic things and go from there. So a way to spend silver that's, create silver that's not too bad. I mean, it depends on what your armor has done for you over time. But that's neither here nor there. I think we've got a couple talismans down here. We have Amulet of Ignition. So this is a yellow pitch, 0 cost, generic action item. It says go again, instant, destroy Amulet of Ignition. The next ability you activate this turn costs 1 less. Activate this ability only if you haven't played a card or activated ability this turn. So it does not, it's only activated ability, so it's not something like a card. It's not going to help you there. You have to have already done something with an item, so it's like, really, it does have this synergy of item tribal that we sort of joked about before. In that regard, it's still not, I think this is just not worth it. It's also a one-shot thing. I just don't, I don't see it. I don't see it. Amulet of Intervention. So this is a blue pitch, 0 cost, generic action item. It says go again. Instant. Destroy Amulet of Intervention. Prevent the next 1 damage that would be dealt to your hero this turn. Activate this ability only while your hero is the target of a source that would deal damage equal or greater to your hero's health. So basically, this is like, cool. Don't want to die. This will help prevent 1 of those damage. So we keep seeing these activate this ability only if sort of clauses there. So they are conditional in that regard, and that's what makes it a little bit more doable. But interesting. Not gonna see play. Clarity Potion, 3 pitch, 0 cost, instant, destroy Clarity Potion, op 2. Okay, I guess it's all right. Not loving it, not hating it. We have Potion of Seeing. This is a blue pitch, 0 cost. Instant, destroy Potion of Seeing. Look at target hero's hand. Again, these do not have go again, these two. So you're going to drop these potions in there, and they're just going to say, oh, dang, I'm not helping you go through anything fast. You can activate me right now, but that's it. So yeah, there's that. I think we got a couple more. So Potion of Ironhide. This is a blue pitch, 0 cost. Is instant, destroy Potion of Ironhide. Attack action cards you own this turn. Gain +1 defense. So it does buff up all of your things with the Ironhide clause in that regard. Not too bad. Again, I don't think it's going to see play. These are nice, weird, limited cards that aren't going to be seeing play limited because it's not a draftable set. But I guess these are something that, if you're going for the item master, that will definitely do it. All right, I think this is our last one. We have Talisman of Tithes here. It says, blue pitch, 0 cost, says, go again. If an opponent would draw 1 or more cards during your action phase, instead, destroy Talisman of Tithes, and they draw that many cards -1. So it does drop them a card. So it can theoretically actually draw, make them draw nothing. So this is actually might see some play. It's kind of crappy, right? Kind of crappy, but not too bad, actually. And I think this is actually something that could see some play, depending on how much card draw we actually see going on. I mean, this could stop some decks in their tracks. I mean, like the snapshot Lexi Lightning Lexi deck is actually quite a hefty card draw deck. And that saying nope, you're not actually going to actually draw that card can shut that deck down. So that's actually quite something that can be very corner case, but actually very powerful. So I'm actually kind of not sure where I land on all these items, but some of them are good. Some of them are like just like, really? But and that's it. Silver is 3 per card draw. Not too bad. Gold will probably be, I guess, 2 or 1. I don't even know. We haven't seen that yet. Maybe the next Crucible / this goofy set here. So that is actually all that we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to head on over back to our intro page. I'm out of my beverage, so that is our pint and preview sort of wrap up for the set here. So pretty excited for this set. Pretty stoked, pretty stoked. I can definitely get into this whole shenanigans and things like that. So yeah, I like it. I'm excited to get building. I think I'm not sure where I want to go now. I was like cool thinking of going on to Earthbriar, and now not really sure where we're gonna go now. Maybe we'll go with back to Runeblade. I've been wanting to go back to like not like Briar, but like Runeblade, like Viserai. He was my boy in the beginning. I liked him a lot. But at the same time, also maybe want to go into I don't know, some other heroes. Like there's definitely some fun places to explore right now. I did like Dash a lot. Boost seems like it might be more exciting. Looks like this is also feeding Blitz a little bit too, which is kind of cool as well. So, but yeah, that's about it. So I think that'll be it for this evening. I don't know exactly what we'll be doing next week. Maybe we'll have to try to have some gameplay. That's what it would be nice. I am trying to get a new series together that hopefully is a little bit exciting for people who are trying to learn about different heroes and playing different heroes and all that kind of stuff. So looking to have that. It is a gameplay series as well, so there'll be some gameplay and there'll be some commentary about different heroes. We're going to be trying to do one for every hero, so we're selecting some friends, some creator friends who are masters of their craft with different heroes, and going to get them all lined up and try to have some fun in that regard. So yeah, hopefully I'll have some gameplay next week. So that will be it for this evening. Don't forget to check out the Discord. Obviously, if you're here on YouTube, please consider subscribing if you have not already. Check out our Card a Day series. We are literally making a video every day for Flesh and Blood. It is in the short section. We are going over every card in Welcome to Wraith and beyond, I guess, at this point. Coming up is the end of Brute. We're getting close to the end of Brute. We're going to be showing off some Scab Skins and moving on into Guardian. I think tomorrow is the last. Maybe tomorrow's Scab Skins. I can't remember now. But yeah, check those out. Join the Discord if you're not. And we will see you next week for some gameplay. See you all. Cheers.